Hello. So today I am going to speak to the lie that marriage solves all problems. In 1 Corinthians 7, Paul is talking to us and he says several times that he would advise those who are single to stay single. He actually warns that those who get married will have troubles, and he's trying to spare us of any of those problems. He goes on to say that the unmarried people will be free from concerns of this life. They can focus more on the kingdom of God. And in verse 33, he says, that the married man and woman, they're going to have to think about their earthly responsibilities, how to please each other's, and their interests will be divided. And so he repeats again at the end of that chapter that in his opinion it would be better to just stay single. And so the truth here is that marriage is not going to solve all your problems. It's really going to create some new problems. I think I like the saying "better together." And I think there can be a lot of truth to that. It is important to go into marriage with someone that you have spent enough time with, that you know them, you know their heart, you know their intentions. Certain things line up for you as far as belief, what your values are, what your beliefs are, your faith, what that looks like. Things you enjoy doing together, your goals in life, what you want your family to look like, what you want your relationship to God with God to look like, right? Um, so certain things should be lined up, and It will help your marriage to be easier, but there will still be issues because marriage is two imperfect people trying to share a life together. And so don't go into marriage with the expectation that as soon as we get married, all of our problems will go away. You will be hugely disappointed. When you are married for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you are going to go through multiple stages of life together. You're going to have different jobs. Maybe there's going to be job loss or promotions. Maybe there's multiple moves that you're going to make in buying a house, selling a house. If maybe you're going to have kids, and so trying to figure out parenting together, possible sicknesses, caring for aging parents, your sex life will change. And again, you're two different people. So even with all the similarities that you share, you will have different interests, different personalities. Maybe one of you is more emotional, the other person is more logical. Maybe you're both emotional or both logical. Maybe one of you is an introvert and the other is an extrovert. And so, even with these differences, there can be benefits, but there's also some disadvantages that might come up that might cause conflict, right? So, better together is a good goal in finding the right person to partner with. Find the person that is going to be committed to work through your problems continually and together, right? For me and my husband, divorce is not an option. So I just say we're either going to be happy together or we're going to be miserable together. Thankfully, we both prefer being happy. And so what this means is we take time to communicate and work through problems with God in the center. And that is key. So even with God in the center of your marriage, there's still going to be conflict. You're still going to have problems, but at least you got God there to humble you, give you that nudge and say, hey, you need to apologize, man. To give you wisdom, to give you guidance on how to communicate with each other, how to love each other, how to forgive each other. And so go into marriage with realistic expectations that there will be problems. Choose a partner you can go through those problems with and continue in love. All right, be blessed.